Hello boys and girls, today I'm playing Team Fortress 2, King of the Hill Viaduct. I'll be playing on the blue team, and I'll be playing as a scout. Today I wanted to talk about net neutrality and why it's important. So, you may have recently heard about the court case where Verizon sued the FCC to saying that the open internet rules of 2010 were not legal, and the judge's ruling Verizon won, and now those open internet rules have been struck down. So this was kind of a sad day for the internet, but the FCC needs to make sure they have the legal precedent, that they actually have the authority to do what they're doing, especially with the whole NSA things going on about executive branch overstepping their authority and things like that. You need to make sure that your government is being ruled by law and not just doing things because they feel like that's a good idea. Even if, like net neutrality, it is a good common sense idea. So you may not know even what net neutrality. Net neutrality is the idea that your internet provider cannot choose the websites that you can see, or that they can make one website go to your faster than another. Like, say, Comcast is owned by NBC, so with net neutrality, they could not, speed up videos from their what's it called, Xfinity. Yeah, Xfinity. They couldn't speed up their Xfinity videos and then slow down YouTube videos to try and incentivize their own service. Net neutrality basically provides an equal playing ground for everyone, where your big cable companies aren't acting as the gatekeepers in the internet. Basically, what they want to do is make the internet into cable TV, where they separate packages, where, say, $5 a month you can get Facebook, but for an extra $10 you can also get Twitter and Reddit, and it's just that's not what the internet is. It's not what the internet was intended to be, and really, it's something that needs to be addressed within the legal system, because the cable companies are not going to they're not going to enforce this themselves. Cable companies are, in most places, you only have one option, maybe two if you are extremely lucky, for your internet service. It is pretty much a monopoly, and because it's considered infrastructure or utility or something along those lines, well, not a utility, it is a utility. They should be considered a utility, but they're not. They're considered information services. That's another thing. The reason the FCC could not enforce the net neutrality open internet rules of 2010 was because FCC chose to classify internet service providers as information services instead of common carriers, like, say, a telephone company is. So common carriers have to follow basically net neutrality for phone lines. They can't, mess with your phone signals or incentivize, calling within their own network. Like, say, AT&T can't, I don't know, they can't mess with your connection to, say, Verizon, because they don't like Verizon and they're their competitor. So basically, the only options to get net neutrality back is to either pass a law through Congress, which is strongly opposed by the Republicans, because They say they're against regulation of the internet, even though they were quite supportive of SOPA before we protested against that. Really, it's all about money and how the cable company has their basically own the FCC, and well, they have a lot of influence inside the FCC and other government organizations. Let's just say that. So basically, there's only two-ish options. The FCC can either reclassify internet service providers as common carriers and then enforce those rules, which they would not be happy about at all. Well, when I say they, I mean the internet service providers, ISPs for short. So they can either classify as common carriers or Congress can come together, create another law to create net neutrality that way. But net neutrality is very important and must be preserved in order to have a future a future with a free and open internet for everyone, small businesses, big businesses. Because that's another thing, net neutrality. If you do not have net neutrality, you cannot have internet. The way the internet has existed forever, with startups, small companies coming out of nowhere, innovating, making a bunch of money, Google could not exist if there was no net neutrality. Say, today, if someone started Google or YouTube or Twitter or any of these types of services where there might be a bigger player who would be willing to pay to slow down your connections to your customers, it just makes things completely anti-competitive and is not something we should allow to happen. You should not have your cable company or your ISP controlling the internet, what you can see, how fast certain things come to you that they want you to see. So yeah, that's my little discussion on net neutrality. Hey look, first place. And the round is over, so this is goodbye. See you guys next time.